Hello everybody, and welcome to Training Tuesday. So I'm going to try and invite some people, but as you know, this never really works. So let's just invite who I can invite. So yeah, I invited a handful of people. Once a couple people pop on, I'll ask them to invite the rest. So while we wait, do you guys like my little wall? Okay, so I bought these little string lights from the dollar store. And, hey, Sarah, can you just invite everybody, click that little invite friend button and invite the rest of the team to watch, please, because my phone doesn't do it. So anyways, I got those they're like little fairy lights from the dollar store, and they're super cheap, and, I got them in the white lights, obviously. And then I save all my, empty bar shells, and I also have a whole bunch of I have like maybe 2 or 3 brick shells. So I just thought I'd make those up, and it didn't take me very long. It was a lot of fun. I got to use a drill, which was kind of cool, to drill a hole in the top of them. And I didn't know what I was going to do with them for the longest time. They sat in bags underneath my desk here. And then I finally just reorganized my office, and I thought, heck, why don't I just make myself a little wall? So yeah, I think it's really cute. But anyways, so tonight we're talking about social media do's and don'ts. So I'll tell you what inspired this, because I had I don't know if you guys saw my Facebook post on my personal wall a couple days ago. I think it was last week, I think it was a Wednesday. I had somebody, okay, she has consistently only ever tried to contact me by these really annoying, I'm looking for so many women who, want to make money from home, and I noticed that you are a successful direct sales, already, and I thought that you might be interested. Or I'm doing a detox, and you can have my pricing for this amount of time, and blah, 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 blah. So anyways, I was like, okay, whatever. Never answered her back, ever. I've read her messages because I'm OCD and I can't handle that little one unread, but I've never, ever messaged her, or messaged her back or asked her for information or liked one of her posts, nothing. So she messages me again, and I'm like, cool, whatever, maybe this time she's gonna actually talk to me about something useful. So she messages me saying, hey, how are you, or something like that. So I was like, hey, how are you, right? Talk to you back. This woman messaged me back after I said, hey, how are you, answering her back, to again pitch me something. And I was like, oh my God, do you not understand? I've never spoken to you. You have messaged me 8+ times, and I've never answered you. Why would you think I still want to talk to you? So whoever's watching here, guys, if you could just invite some people. I'm having some problems. It won't let me invite them. But I'm just talking about why we're doing this Training Tuesday, social media do's and don'ts. So this lady continuously messaged me. So I told her, I was like, listen, stop messaging me about your business. I'm not interested. I've never replied to you back, ever. The 8 times before you've messaged me, I've never answered you. Why would you think I'm interested? And she just didn't get the hint. She was pretty rude about it. So that lit a fire in me to have this conversation with you guys, because we can't be that annoying mass texter, or that, okay, this is right in, just try and fix this. Oh, that was not the way to do it. Sorry, guys. It's a bit better, hey? Sorry, it's just giving me a headache and a half. Okay, we are not those annoying salespeople. Direct sales get a bad rep all the time, and it's so frustrating, because to me, this is a legit thing. This is not me just screwing around and trying to make some side money from home. This is it. This is what I'm trying to do with my life. So when I hear people say, oh, direct sales people are so pushy, or they're so annoying, I'm like, that's because you're talking to the wrong direct sales people. So this is my little social media training, and hopefully you guys take what you want from it. I've got some do's and some don'ts. We're going to start with some don'ts, and then I'll give you the kind of do to replace that and make it a bit of a better situation. So, first of all, do not mass message. If you didn't get that from my little story, basically the point is if someone hasn't responded, if you never, okay, here's the thing. I do send follow-up messages, even if I haven't talked to the person in a year, even if they've ignored a couple messages from me, but I only do that if they've ever purchased from me, because sometimes people read it and then they don't ever get back to you because they forget, or they can't pay for it that month, so they just don't pay attention to it, or whatever the situation was. So I do message some people even though they haven't responded back to me, but they've always been previous customers, and I'm never really annoying, or like it's never a cut and dry, like a straight up cut and paste from somebody else. Like it's always like a hey, how are you? I try and add something personal, although it might be hard if we haven't spoken in a while. You know, I'll ask about a recent holiday or the weekend or something like that. But yeah, it is okay to message somebody if they haven't answered you back, but only if you've made a previous connection with them in some way, and that you really feel like this might be just a chance of like they're just haven't gotten back to you, or whatever the case is. So another thing though, when you're doing this mass messaging, do not, or you know, you shouldn't be doing this mass messaging, especially if you are sending things like, I'm looking for 8 to 10 women to join my team, or you know, I'm looking for women who want to do a detox at half price. Like and I guess how could I make that sensey? Like say you're doing a diffuser special or a bar special. Don't message 35 people with the same, hey, how are ya? You know, would you like to get 10 bars for blank instead of blank? That saves you this much. You know, message me if you're interested. That's just really spammy. You know, the person can tell it's not really personalized. Like when I send my follow-up messages, or like the other day I went through and I sent messages to all of my previous contacts, I send things like, hey, blank. You know, I add their name. How are you? Or I hope you're well. Or, you know, how was Christmas, New Year's, blah, blah, blah. You know, just checking in. Last time you purchased was this. You know, wanted to see if there's anything I could do for you. Sometimes I offer like a $5 off your order of $50 or more, or something like that. I just try and make it more personal, and I try and make it less annoying, if that makes sense. Hopefully you guys are getting where I'm coming from that. And if anybody's commenting, I can't see it, so just so you're aware. So that's my do and my don't. So don't mass message people. Do personalize the message. Make sure that you've made contact with them before, and just try not to be annoying. I think that's the general message of this whole video. But anyways, not that I'm calling anybody out either on our team, but I just feel like sometimes that this needs to be said, that maybe it's not as common knowledge to everybody else as it is to me, right? So don't copy and paste, okay? So if you see a status that you really like that somebody else posted, first of all, make sure you read it fully. Do not take that status that talks about your teenage children if you are 20 yourself and do not have children. So if you're going to copy and paste, make sure you read it entirely. Make sure that you customize it. Like, you can, just because somebody else had it doesn't mean that you can't take it and change it up a bit. Once it's out there on social media, it's pretty much fair game. That's been my my opinion towards it. I've never taken somebody's work and changed it, except for adding maybe some Canadian prices. But I do believe that if it's on Facebook, it can be altered or, taken in some way. So anyways, if you copy and paste, so don't copy and paste straight messages and straight photos. If you copy and paste, make sure to customize it, change the photo, add your story, whatever. Make sure to read it, make sure that it applies to you. And make sure that it's actually worthy of being copy and pasted. Like, there's some really long emoji-filled statuses out there that I don't even think our customers look at. Let's be honest. At least all of our customers are probably friends, Facebook friends with at least more than one Scentsy consultant, and they're gonna see it. Like, if a Scentsy sister posts it, the chances are they're gonna see it. So just be aware of that. Customize things to your own page, and just be a bit more aware of that. Always adding a selfie is always fun too, because then it's more personal. It's even better. So don't copy and paste. Do customize. Do read and make sure that it's applicable to your situation. And again, just don't be annoying. Looking spammy. So this kind of goes with everything with the mass messaging and the copying and pasting rule. Don't post, you're not an infomercial, guys. People are friends with you on Facebook because they like you as a person. And when they hang out with you as a person, you don't sit there and say, hey, did you know that our diffuser has this many light settings and this many la la la? And that's all you talk about. They know that's not you. So just don't be an infomercial, because you don't need to be. Now, if you're going on Facebook Live, then you can be an infomercial. That's a bit different. Like if you're going on Facebook Live to talk about your Scentsy Go, or if you're going on Facebook Live to talk about your diffuser, okay, that's a little bit more infomercial-like, and that's okay, because you're going on about that. That's fine. But if you just post these, you know what I'm talking about? Like the statuses that have like 2 sentences and then a whole bunch of like emoji lists. Like, it's okay if it's like listing out like the diffuser, features or something like that, but sometimes it gets a little bit too much, and most of the time you can kind of tell. Just use your common sense with that one, guys. Again, what is a don't of social media? No personal specials, no inventory. You can't post your inventory. You can't imply that you have inventory. You cannot post that you have an amazing personal special that saves you this much on a diffuser. You have to keep it very vague. Same with the inventory thing. If you guys are at a fair or a show or an open house, you are allowed to say that you have cash and carry on hand, but you cannot post pictures of it. And if you're running a personal special, you can say that you're hosting a personal special, but you cannot list the details, especially the money saved. Don't mass add people on Facebook. That is like the worst thing that you could do. Going on Facebook and just clicking add. Now, this is the do part of it. So if you, okay, hold on, because I don't know if anybody's home. Okay, no, I can hear them upstairs. Okay. So mass adding. So don't just go and click a whole bunch of people, just random people. Like, don't go on your friends list and try and add it, because you'll get put in Facebook jail pretty quick. I did that for an event once, so that people would see my message, and I got put in Facebook jail for like a month. It was horrible. But you can, you know those you may know little category? I check that out all the time, because you know what? Reconnecting with somebody is a great way to add a customer to your repertoire, or, you know, even sometimes add a new consultant. Now, I'm not saying that you stalk those, you know, who you may know and just add them and start pitching Scentsy right away. The whole point of social media is to build a relationship with the person before you launch yourself into Scentsy or launch them into Scentsy. So don't be pushy or like too Scentsy. You know, that you could be Scentsy Spirit. You love Scentsy. You've been working with Scentsy. They're fantastic. That's what you've been up to for the last, you know, so many years. But don't be like, right off the bat, hey, you should try this. Or, you know, oh, you have that stain. Oh, you should try laundry clean or laundry liquid or whatever. Just try and get a personal relationship before you start pitching anything on them, right? So don't mass add people that you don't know. Do add people that you have known in the past or you may know. Do join similar interest groups and add people as you like make relationships with them. So comment on posts in these groups, make your own posts, get involved, make your name kind of a known name in the group, and then you can eventually, you'll add friends from that and that kind of stuff, and then eventually you'll talk to those people and build relationships with them, and eventually you'll turn those relationships into Scentsy somehow. That is the way to do it if you're going to do it, but you do not go and just mass add people. It's not a good idea. Now this one might get a little bit of flack, but I am not a fan of this one. Okay, so don't post those, I need so many people so I can post on your wall, or comment below if I can post on your wall about my special. Those are just, I don't know.